Hyundai illegally tarnished the credit reports of millions of its borrowers by illegally reporting them as late or behind on their loans and leases. They got sued, and that's what we're talking about today. In many cases, Hyundai knew it was providing inaccurate information and failed to take reasonable measures to address the inaccuracies. Hyundai identified many of the issues causing these inaccuracies in its internal audits, but still took years to address the problems. Hyundai was a bad actor. Now, let's give you a little bit of background about Hyundai, see how they violated the law and what this looks like in reality, and then find out what the settlement entailed and talk about what you can do if you've been affected by Hyundai. Here we go. Okay, Hyundai Capital America is the financing arm of Hyundai, a South Korean auto manufacturer. The CFPB did an investigation after numerous complaints and found that Hyundai used manual and outdated systems, processes, and procedures to furnish credit reporting information, which led to widespread inaccuracies and resulted in negative, inaccurate information being placed on consumers' credit reports through no fault of their own. The numbers here are incredible. The numbers here are incredible. The numbers we're talking about here are incredible. In total, the CFPB found that Hyundai furnished inaccurate information for more than 8.7 million instances on more than 2.2 million customers during that period. In many cases, Hyundai knew it was providing inaccurate information and failed to take reasonable measures to address these inaccuracies. Hyundai identified many of the issues causing these inaccuracies in its internal audits, but still took years to address these problems. The Hyundai Capital America purchases and services retail installment contracts and vehicle leases originated by 1,600 Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis dealerships. So it's not limited to just Hyundai. Kia and Genesis are covered as well. It's one of the largest furnishers of automotive finance account information in the United States. Hyundai's credit reporting practices have a major impact on the credit scores of millions of Americans. Okay, so let's look at what Hyundai did wrong, the violations of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There are five of them. We're going to look at each one in turn. Oh, before we do that, this is Bill Clanton, consumer protection attorney. If you're having a problem with Hyundai, feel free to give us a call. We'd love to look into it for you and help you out. All right, here are the five ways that Hyundai broke the law. Failing to report complete and accurate loan and lease information. Hyundai repeatedly did not take steps to properly update and correct information it furnished to credit reporting companies that it determined was not complete or accurate and continued to furnish this inaccurate and incomplete information. Hyundai failed to provide the date of first delinquency information when required. Fair Credit Reporting Act requires data furnishers to provide credit reporting companies the date of delinquency for when a delinquent account is being charged off or placed for collections. Hyundai failed to report a date of delinquency for many consumers who were more than 90 days delinquent. Hyundai failed to modify or delete information when required. Hyundai's furnishing system often overrode manual corrections made by employees in responding to consumer disputes. The furnishing system would provide monthly updates to credit reporting companies that reintroduced the data error after it had been disputed and corrected. This is a big deal. The furnishing system would update and override manual corrections. So its employees would fix the problems, and then its automated systems would override those corrections. Number four, Hyundai failed to have reasonable identity theft procedures. The Fair Credit Reporting Act requires furnishers to respond to any notification from credit reporting companies about the furnished information that is the result of identity theft. Hyundai failed to establish reasonable identity theft and related blocking procedures to respond to identity theft notifications and continued to report such information that should have been blocked on a consumer's report. 5. failing to have reasonable accuracy and integrity policies and procedures. Regulation V requires furnishers to maintain written policies and procedures regarding the accuracy and integrity of the information furnished. Hyundai failed to review and update its credit reporting furnishing policies and procedures from 2010 to 2017. It was not until 2021 that the company finally updated some of its credit reporting policies and procedures. That's huge. Those five alone show that Hyundai was willful, negligent for sure, and willful in messing up people's credit reports. Its systems were broken. It didn't have written policies and procedures. It couldn't handle identity theft claims. Its credit reporting was a mess. If you have a Hyundai Note, I would check your credit report right away. So let's take a look at what this looks like in real life. Okay, here is a complaint um, from August 12th, 2022. Somebody in Florida is complaining about Hyundai Capital America. Okay, they contacted Kia in 2021 when they had something. They put me on a COVID payment arrangement, which I kept, and I still reporting 30 days late. I've contacted them multiple times, which they make me dispute to the credit agency. So I've disputed this multiple times, with still coming back as valid. They're not handling disputes properly. Okay, let's look at another one here. This is a August 11th, 2022. Somebody in New Jersey complaining about Hyundai Capital America. Kia Motor Finance, Hyundai, as we know, assessed several months of delinquent late payments reporting on my credit report. This delinquent reporting was done for months that were after the account was closed and the title was issued. So this person had title in hand, and Kia is saying that they're behind and missing payments. The account was never late. Credit report shows that while the account was open, the account was never paid late. I tried to dispute this to the credit agencies, no solution. If you've seen my videos, it should be no surprise that the credit bureaus are mishandling this as well. Okay, they wrote multiple letters to Kia with a return response of form letter stating they are correct. How can payments be late after the account has been closed? The late report has affected my credit score and I would like it removed. I believe they're in violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I agree. Here's another complaint. This is August 5th, 2022. It looks like the consumers in Mississippi complaining about Hyundai Capital America. I've called the company multiple times, no resolution. Stated we'll call back, and they never do. Reach out to all credit bureaus, and they tell me to dispute, which I have numerous times and no change. The charge off account has been continuously reported since it was charged off. It is also showing inconsistent balances across the bureaus. Has the account to be opened, the collection charge off, high credit, last active, last payment date, account to be paid is open, high credit. The account has been settled for less than the original amount still, but the balance still reflects in the file. The account has caused me lots of dollars, a job, and the ability to purchase because of an adverse history. This person is dealing with Hyundai's terrible mistakes in credit reporting. If you've dealt with Hyundai's credit reporting mistakes and have an experience, good or bad, please post it in the comments below. I'd like other people to know about this. This is a big issue for 2.2 million Americans at least. So, what did they do? How was this order being enforced? What's the punishment that Hyundai is going to have to pay for this? Okay. The enforcement action provides for $13.2 million in compensation to current and former customers, a $6 million fine. They have to take steps to correct all inaccurate account information. They have to address procedures identifying and correcting inaccurate information. Let's hope that does it, folks. Let's hope this is a lesson to other furnishers. They've got to report their information completely and accurately. There's no excuse for this. They need to have strong systems that prevent this type of activity. If you have a problem with Hyundai or any other furnisher reporting inaccurate information in your credit report, give us a call. We'll walk you through the dispute process, and if your case qualifies, we'll, we'll help you litigate it. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe. Thank you.